So this is how to load a layer into the QGIS program. This is a blank file, and the first thing we need to do is add a vector layer. And the vector layer is contained in the shapefile that we've just generated using the database query. So I'm just going to browse to the location of a shapefile and just pick one. This one. And just press open. You can see what happens now. It draws the geography of that shapefile, of those shapefiles, onto a blank canvas. Now those shapefiles have a number of pieces of information stored within them. So look at the fields, for example. In this case, I've got vitamin D concentrations and percentage white or population in a particular area. And those can be all plotted and used to create styles. So for example, I could do a graduated style based on the percent African in a population with 5 different classes at equal intervals. Just press classify, and now I've got a shading based on the data that's contained within that particular shapefile. Right, so the key to making the map work is to get the project coordinate reference system to work correctly. So if you go to File, Project Properties, you can see in the coordinate reference system there's an option to enable on-the-fly coordinate reference system transformation. And what this allows you to do is that most maps need a reference point from where to draw from longitude and latitude and so on. And each map generally uses a standard system, but it's not always the same system. And so to allow conversion between the two, you have to specify that you want to enable on-the-fly CRS transformation, and you also need to know what CRS your layer is going to use. So the layer of the raster images, or the vector images that we loaded from the shapefile, is based on the British National grid coordinate reference system, and we just want to double make sure that this that's the correct system. And now when we load in extra layers from other sources like Google or Yahoo and so on, it'll automatically translate the coordinates of those maps to this shapefile layer so that we'll overlay on the correct part of the country. So the next step is to open up or install some plugins that allow us to draw a map overlay to make the data more palatable. And first thing to do is fetch Python plugins, and then go to repositories and then click add and get all the third-party plugins that there are. And then when you can do that, you can now filter down, and the best plugin I've found that works is the Open Layers overview and the Open Layers plugin. So install those two plugins, and what you'll end up with is an overview here, which will automatically center itself on this particular area. And then you're able to add, by going to the plugins, add in a particular kind of map. So we could add a Google Street Map, for example, and just probably need to zoom in. It's thinking about it. So yeah, we've added the street map on there. I want to just drag the layer to overlay my layers on top of it, rather than, if you think about it, it is an actual layer on the map. You can see now that I've overlaid the shapefile layers that I had previously onto the actual map itself now, and you can see there. You can alter the overlay by double-clicking again. You might want to do things like alter the transparency, for example. So if we go back to the graduated one, the thing to do is alter transparency. So let's say it's more or less transparent. I click OK. That'll make those shape files slightly more transparent, so you can actually see the underlying mapped data.